Yo, yo, what up, Predheads?
What is up, you guys? Happy Hump Day.
Yes, our favorite day of the week.
It is our favorite day of the week. Right now, I'm sure you guys are all coming from CPP is having a crazy video right now. So we completely understand if you want to go and watch that and come back. This video will stay up. But how is everyone doing today?
Doing good, I guess.
Doing pretty good.
Let's see who we have in the chat. We got Nova Bombshell, JT1, Lori, Jeff, Chronically Ironic, Mr. Los Angeles, Worldwide Predator Hunters, Hills, Technical, Amy, Gobshite.
What is up, you guys?
Thanks
I just want to give
on.
a quick little shout out to Worldwide Predator Hunters. I just found out that they had another conviction. So that is huge news. Big congrats to them.
Yeah, we know there's some lives going on. We got CC Unit with number 226 right now. We got
it's an active night.
CPP, and we have PP Mass. So
it's an active night. I am so curious to know what is going to happen with Tommy's live. So if any of you guys are jumping back and forth and you see that they get an arrest or not an arrest, please let us know because I am so curious. And just a bit of backstory, I totally think the wife is in on it.
You think?
I totally
That's a tough
do.
one. She acted a little weird. Like, I get it. Like, it wasn't from a phone number. It was from, like, some app, you know, but...
Right, but I don't know. I mean, that would be a really hard situation to be in, finding out that your lover is talking to a child, but she is way too in denial. Something seems way off.
Little weird. So, yeah, if you guys find out what happens with that, please let us know. We'll try to check the chat as often as possible for that.
And we have a really exciting episode planned out. So even if you do go, definitely come back because we have a special guest coming on today. And I think that they are going to shed a ton of light on what is going on inside the decoying world. And if you want to be a decoy, I think they will also shed light on that.
So yeah, stick around. We got some good stuff planned for you. Let's go ahead and hop right in.
And guys, real quick, as we were setting up, we were pulling up our Instagram and we got a message saying that our account was compromised, but we were able to get in, but it's not looking good. It's really just not looking good.
Like,
so
I just don't know if they want us on Instagram.
Yeah, they're definitely boycotting us. But one of my friends has a business. She had like 19,000 followers and they just compromised her account as well. So Instagram is doing a lot of really shady stuff. So if you guys see our account down, that's what's going on.
They're sketch. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop right in, shall we?
Let's dive in.
First, this is our new Instagram PNN podcast. If you guys want to go shoot us a follow, that'd be awesome. First thing we got here, we're going to do our milestones. We got Worldwide Predator Hunters with 2,000 subs.
Nice.
So shout out to
so
Jay
deserved.
over there.
So deserved. I asked him earlier, I didn't check, but I'm pretty sure that conviction that he just got was number 40.
Wow.
I'm not for sure, but I think he's close to 40.
That's crazy. That's a lot of convictions. Next one we got here is Shafiq over here at Predator Catchers PA with 5,000.
Super dope. I know he's trying to hit 6,000 by the end of the year, so we're on a good pace.
Good trajectory. Yeah, he's shaping up pretty nice on that one. I think he'll hit that. The next one we got is from OB Nation. This is Rami's second channel with 17,000.
Nice. 17's my favorite
17,000 people that love that IRL content.
True.
The next one we got here is Courtney ElizXbeth also hitting 17,000.
Wow. That's crazy. OB Nation has been in the game for a minute and Courtney is way newer, so she is doing incredible.
Right. With the amount of followers that Rami's first channel has, 100 something, you'd think he could convert a little bit more over to OB Nation, but it just goes to show that YouTube's hard to get subs when you're starting.
Hard, but she's killing it.
The next one we got here is from Colorado Ped Patrol, and it's like an ongoing joke that we always show him, but he hit 34,000.
You guys, his growth is just so crazy. I remember when he hit like 15,000, there was a little bit of a lull there for a minute, and now it's like he's growing just exponentially every single day.
So shout out to Tommy over there. The next one we got here is nice to see. It's CP catcher Sam at 48,000, and he's been MIA because of his injury. So it's nice that people are still subbing,
right?
And
no,
showing
that's
love.
awesome, and he'll be back soon.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure he will.
Probably can't wait to hop back in. And then the last one we got here is coming from DAP at 95,000, almost 96,000. So that's going to be pretty cool when they hit 100K. That's a pretty big milestone because YouTube sends out your silver play button.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. They give you your play button. That's so awesome.
Pretty dope. Shout out to everyone who got a mile marker this last couple days. And then moving on, we got we wanted to share this. This was from TCOY. And there's a couple missing people. We just wanted to kind of put that on the show today. We got Kyra Caldwell, the first one there. The second one here is both photos were from Alexis there. And then the last one here is from CC Unit, who reposted Kayleese.
It's so sad how many people are missing.
Right, it really is.
So yeah, definitely. We usually post on our Instagram, like repost a lot, but we're on kind of probation, so we haven't been reposting, but definitely repost these if you can. If you're in the area, look out. And we really hope that they return home safely.
Yes. And then we were just going to show our new Instagram page, but we showed it in the beginning. But yes, I don't get Instagram. It's crazy. They're trying to shut us down.
We'll conquer.
Yeah, moving on to some community news. We got Alex, who's in New York right now, currently heading to Cincinnati. I think they have a catch out there, so that'll be pretty interesting. He also had a catch yesterday, and it was inside of someone's house, and the internet was really bad, and I think he said that his phone had died, so people were wondering what happened with that, and it turns out that the cops came, they gave the evidence up, and I don't think there was an arrest, but that guy he needed some help there. And then the other thing with Alex was last night he was in New York, and they wanted to stop over in, I guess, like Times Square area. And lo and behold, FM creeped up on him.
Yeah, it was so crazy. I got a notification from Creep Spotlight saying live catch, and all of a sudden I hear Alex's voice. I was like, wait, am I like in a time zone? Like, what is going on here? But it was super dope. They laughed a ton, and I just want to say one more time, I think it's so awesome when, even though they didn't do a collab together, I love seeing two catchers come together. I think it's incredible.
Yeah, that was super cool. So that was dope. The next thing with Alex, he had a catch this morning, and that was in Amsterdam, New York, upstate New York there.
It was crazy.
Yeah, the guy was just absolutely insane.
Like really, really bad. Like he wanted to bring like a 5-year-old, a 7-year-old, a 9-year-old. There was a total of 4 children, and it was just so sick. Alex went through his phone and found like a CP farm in his Google photos. It's just super bad.
Yeah, and this guy was saying that he was a scientist or he was a researcher, and his excuse was that he wanted to research all of this for some odd reason.
Right.
And I mean, come on, that's just insane. But the good news is they called the cops, and the cops showed up, and honestly, like, the response from the cop was pretty good, and we wanted to show a little clip here, so let me load that up.
It was so refreshing seeing the cops react the way that they did.
Go ahead and play this here.
But he admits that he's a pedophile. He admits that he's received child porn numerous times. I have his phone right here, by the way, where you can see that he sent the messages himself.
Okay.
And he's basically extremely sick. He sent them dick pictures and all that.
Okay, what's your name?
Michael.
Michael what?
Ooh.
Michael Clark.
His Facebook says Michael Fry, but he admits he sent all that, and you could see
Well, who did he admit this to?
us.
Okay.
We were filming it to get the confession on camera to give to you guys. But you know, even in his dick pictures, as you'll see, you see his face in it and all of that stuff. So
Yikes.
Really bad.
And if you go on his phone, you'll see he sent those exact messages.
brought the knife too.
Yeah, and he also brought a knife to meet them, which we have.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Okay. Okay. All right,
Ooh.
Michael, you got to take a ride with me.
Yes.
Instantly, like no questions
I know.
asked.
Like, that's the crazy thing. He didn't
Gotta
even
come
really
over here
ask a lot of
while we get this
questions.
sorted out, okay?
Dude's like,
All right, anything I need
shit.
to know about? Oh, I got a Zippo.
He's even stumped.
Right.
That's all I brought. Okay, stand up.
Ooh.
Cuff him. So yeah, I thought that was pretty neat.
I
you
thought
know,
it was so neat.
that the cops' response was just like, all right, let's arrest him, figure it out at the station.
Yeah, everyone in the chat was going wild. It's so hard when you go to different areas because you don't know how the police are going to respond.
Right.
A lot of them are, oh, you're vigilantes, you're doing our job, we'll take a report. And sometimes not even that.
Right.
So it was super dope to see that.
Yeah, and Alex had said that they got him on 9 felonies.
Ooh.
Yeah, apparently they got him for like 3 counts of attempted child rape, 3 counts. I guess he was going for 3 different decoys.
Right. I think
So-
even 4.
Well, regardless.
Over one,
way too
which
many.
is way too many, exactly.
So they got him for the different decoys that he was talking to. So Alex made a statement, he said, all the catchers out there, you should just fish with a couple different decoys.
100%.
So maybe hold more charges for that, that case. So good job on that one. The next thing we got here is from PP Mass. Wanted to, first of all, give him a shout out for his birthday on Friday.
Yes. Happy birthday. Almost Friday, but happy
Almost.
birthday.
And he did an update, I think it was yesterday and today, did a couple different updates. And he wasn't able to record, but he met with the DA for pretrial, which is pretty interesting.
Super interesting.
And the DA said that all catchers need to make sure the catch is having the pred state their full name on camera, which is a pretty big deal.
Yeah. And really quick, I did just see the chat. PP Ryan was also at the catch with Alex. We forgot to include that, but he was there. So I thought that was awesome as well.
Shout out to NVCap. He was with Alex as well.
Yeah.
Doing big things. So yeah, anyways, back to the PP Mass thing. I guess, stating the full name is like a big thing because the DA said a lot of the time that the Preds were using a fake name and the judge needs to be able to hear the Preds say his real name.
Right.
And admit their wrongdoings by saying, I'm blank blank and
Right.
I did come to do this.
And that's just the fact of the matter is that they always use fake names. No one online uses real names. So
Right.
that's super important. Or get their ID. Don't show it on camera, but say, hey, I need to look at your ID.
Exactly. And so then he said he also had I guess the start of a trial on October 13th where they're going to go and do the jury, pick the jury, I guess. So yeah, let's play this clip from PP Mass really quick. This is from his update.
I don't understand this. I do not. Maybe you guys can help me understand this. Subpoena Deuces Tecum. What does this mean right here? I think this dude got indicted. I know, but I got served on the other case. I didn't have to go to the grand jury. Why is it telling me that I'm going in front of the grand jury in Boston?
So yeah, there was some questions about the whole grand jury thing, and the grand jury, what it is they get the witnesses and the prosecutor together, and they get a group of people to decide whether or not there's enough charges or if the charge would stick before they actually go and indict this person
Right.
for
Pay all
the
the
charge.
money and stuff.
Yeah, you don't want to spend a whole bunch of money going to trial
100%.
if you don't think the charges are going to stick with the people. So it kind of gives you a glimpse into what the people might say in a trial.
Right. Yep.
So that was interesting, and he also stated that the defense is going to go for entrapment, and PP Mass was saying, it's not entrapment because he's not a police officer,
Right.
Which we always say this. Everyone always says, well, this is entrapment. You see it in the comments all the time, and it's not entrapment if it's not coming from a local police department or
Right.
a law enforcement agency.
Yeah. And PP Mass always says, like, straight up, I am not an officer. All the catchers do, because that's one of the main things when doing a catch is to say, I am not a part of law enforcement, because you don't want to go down as pretending to be impersonating a cop.
Yeah, exactly. So I thought that was an interesting kind of, defense.
Yeah. Well, that's
there's
kind
not
of like-
much else you can
right.
say.
That's what I was going to say. There's not much really else that they can't say or can say for the defense.
Right.
Of course, they're going to try to go for entrapment because that's really all they do have.
And the thing is, I guess, like, it's going to be interesting because obviously when you have a jury trial, you have to convince the jury that this was entrapment. So even though you make a good argument that this, you know, has to be done by in a law enforcement group, you could still potentially get the jury to be like, well, I think it was entrapment.
Right.
Even though the entrapment law says, no, that's not what entrapment is.
Right.
If, you know, if the majority of the jury says, well, I think it was entrapment, I guess it could maybe stick. I don't really know.
Do you think that also has something to do with how good your attorney is, though? I mean,
definitely, yeah.
Like, if you have a good attorney, they'll probably be able to sway the entire jury. Yes, this was entrapment. Here's A, B, and C to show why.
Exactly.
But this guy is probably going with like a public defender. I think the chat logs and all the evidence are going to speak for itself. So I think he's going to have it.
Yeah. Super interesting. So we'll see what plays out with that. And that's pretty much all of the news we have for our community. We've had a lot of lives lately, not a lot of uploads from the videos yet.
Mm-hmm.
But we did want to say one thing. There was some fake Instagram, or not Instagram, YouTube accounts going around. And it was for Emily's profile.
Yeah.
And we just thought that was kind of funny. Like,
yeah, I would told Cup, I was like, I don't know whether to be pissed or flattered, but
right.
The funny thing is I don't want to jinx it, but a bunch of people were reaching out to me like, hey, were you in this chat? Because you were also in this chat at the same time. So I went and saw some of the messages, and the person, like, I want to knock on wood because they're probably going to do this now, but they were talking exactly like me. They weren't being rude. So whatever, do what you got to do.
Weird.
But if you see some weird messages or short responses, I promise it's not me.
Yeah, no, it's like, I mean, there's so many names, but
Right.
I guess.
But there's only one Emily Kidwell, and
Yes.
that's me. I'm just trying to keep kids well. I just realized that with my last name, Kidwell.
Right.
Keeping kids well.
So shout out to the imposter accounts out there. I know I've seen one for myself as well.
Yes, we have.
Anyways.
We love all the trolls, though.
Yeah, shout out. So the next thing we're going to go into is the news from around the world / national news.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about this story last week, and it was where the violent predator was going to be moving into the neighborhood, and they said, no, we don't want that. And shout out to JT1 on Discord for the recommendation on this story. There's an update, though, so I wanted to play it for you guys.
San Diego County Supervisor Jim Desmond is calling for the county administration to have a greater role in the placement of sexually violent predators. This following another successful neighborhood fight to keep convicted predator 78-year-old Douglas Badger out of Rancho Bernardo.
NBC7's Dave Summers tells us what the supervisor has planned, and he also spoke with one Rancho Bernardo resident who was instrumental in the fight to keep Badger out.
The Department of State Hospitals recommended that sexually violent predator Douglas Badger, who according to court records was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder and sexual sadism, be placed in this $1 million home. It's on Frondazo Drive. It backs up to the country club of Rancho Bernardo and is nestled among similarly priced homes in a neighborhood of families and kids.
My mom was so worried it was going to happen, and I just immediately was like, this is not going to happen.
Channing Hughes helped rally the neighbors. They made signs that hung on just about every house, including the house homeowners Brian and Ming's Upland leased to house Badger.
We had no say in it. We get a letter one day or an email, saying, oh, this person's going to be placed in this home, and that's all we know.
That is a process County Supervisor Jim Desmond wants stopped.
I think the system is broken. I think the state should
Amen.
keep them in mental hospitals or keep them on prison grounds or some other place.
Desmond put on Tuesday's regular board meeting agenda this item. It opposes any further placements of sexually violent predators in San Diego County for now. It also demands full local participation in the release and placement process, including full veto authority.
And the fact that they did their time doesn't, to me, really mean that they're never going to do it again. And these people should not have to live in that fear.
Yeah.
You guys, this is huge news.
This is really big.
This is not a non-profit or a bunch of paid
Right.
activists going out. Like, these are people just like you and I standing up for what they want. And this just goes to show that you don't need to be with some big organization to get your point across. If you come together as a community, you can move mountains. And that's exactly what they did. So they're no longer allowing pedophiles to move into that county. Am I correct?
Exactly. Yeah. They have to go and basically get voted before, that happens. And it said during an hour-long public hearing, 22 residents spoke in favor of Desmond's proposal. Mary Taylor, a member of the activist group Your Voice Has Power, said she was sexually assaulted over 30 years ago and is still haunted by that terrible night, saying she understands the fear communities have. There is no excuse for letting a sexually violent predator join any family community, and young lives will be forever traumatized, if not tragically ended, should that be allowed to happen again.
So incredible.
Yeah, and we reached out to this activist group. It's Your Voice Has Power. We thought it'd be interesting to maybe get someone on from their group to kind of talk about it, because this is a huge thing. I mean, the community pushback is amazing, and it's essential.
And they literally moved mountains. I mean, they made it to where predators cannot live in that county. I mean, that's so huge. I've honestly never heard of that before.
Right.
So we did, we're going to link their Facebook down below. So if you guys want to go add, it's a great Facebook page, and hopefully we'll get them on our show here if they respond to us.
And then I just wanted to point out White Guy Wednesdays in the building.
Oh, what is up, you guys?
They have a show on after ours at 7 p.m. Pacific.
Yeah, so we will say we have watched a couple of episodes. We really enjoy getting to see all of the catchers just in a chill, laid back vibe. Yeah. We think that it's super awesome. So we definitely are supporting our community and White Guy Wednesdays.
Yeah, a place to let their hair down, you know?
You know what I'm saying?
So shout out to them. The next thing we got here coming in the news is from San Diego as well. 2 years after conviction, judge makes sure Carlsbad child molester never gets out. So there's no really pictures or video to go along with it. But Samuel Cabrera Jr., 28, was convicted 2 years ago by a Vista jury of 35 felonies, including multiple counts of involving child molestation, kidnapping, burglary, and conspiracy for molesting young girls between 2014 and 2016, and videotaping the assaults. Lyons said that she was alone, had changed the girl's underwear because it was torn, and that her boyfriend had only come over to bring her cold medicine. A subsequent doctor's examination did not reveal anything untoward, but the mother said she later read a news article detailing the couple's arrest and contacted police. So basically, they didn't know anything had happened to the girl, but once that, the news came out of them being arrested, they were like, wait a sec, like, we know those people.
Right. And we also had a weird situation happen with our child. And it's just another reminder that it's never too late to speak out. Or if you have suspicions, keep your eyes out and look. I mean, this is incredible. I hope more judges are like this.
Yes.
And yeah, shout out.
And so, this guy's facing now 8 life without parole sentences plus 295 years to life plus 9 years and 4 months in prison. And
so he's done.
Yeah. And his cohort, his girl, is also facing life for that because she was videotaping some of them. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sick lady.
Wow. Yeah. And just to go back to the CPP catch, if more stuff is found out, if I have my suspicions correct and she is found a part of it, I think she belongs in jail as well.
No, for sure. The next thing we got here is from San Diego as well. This is also coming from JT1 on Discord. He's been dropping a lot of stories for us, so we thank you for that. San Diego PD arrests suspect in child molestation at San Diego Target and Goodwill stores.
This is so alarming.
Shortly before 10 p.m. Friday, officers received a call from a mother and the 11-year-old girl. The mother said the mother told the police that their daughter had been molested by a man who they didn't know while shopping at a Target store. And so the cops came. He was arrested at the store, but police said that there's an ongoing investigation and there may be more. So we just wanted to share that, and we'll drop this link. A lot of these are ongoing, and we like to drop these stories that are still developing so that when we do put the links in the description, you guys can go back and share these stories.
Right. Yeah. And I'm just thinking when I hear that, I'm like, okay, so we're not safe at churches, our police officers, our daycares, our schools, and now Target. Like,
Right.
what
That's
is
crazy.
the world coming to?
Absolutely insane. The next story we got here, this was an interesting one, and we did a little research on it. Man civilly committed as a sex offender for child abuse on Crow Indian Reservation. And it basically goes on to say a man accused of sexually molesting young girls on the Crow Indian Reservation has been civilly committed as a sexually dangerous person under the Adam Walsh Child Protection and Safety Act of 2006. Man molested 13 young girls between the ages of 2 and 7. The judge also said that members of White's family, including his mother, concealed the allegations and degraded the victims. The judge concluded that if White were to return to an environment like the center pole with young girls around, he would molest again. And the judge's decision provides some measure of justice, as Oliver White will never have the opportunity to hurt someone again, said an FBI agent. So we were looking into this. I've never seen this word before, this, you know, the combination civilly committed. And I just wanted to kind of bring, first of all, the Adam Walsh Act, the guy from American Most Wanted,
Yes,
John Walsh,
his son.
he was kind of involved in getting this act into place. And it kind of organizes all the states and territories' sex registries into one searchable database, similar to netpredators.com. But anyways, we're looking into it, and the Justice Department reports that 17 states, 3 territories, and 63 tribes have substantially implemented requirements of the Adam Walsh Act. And in that act, it talks about the civil commitment. And you're wondering what that is, right?
Yes.
So some states have used civil commitment proceedings to remove habitual sex offenders from society for extended, sometimes indefinite periods of time. Civil commitment for sex offenders can happen after they've already served their sentences for a crime without having violated any other laws. So essentially they're saying, hey, this guy's a danger to society. We can't have him in our society. So even though you did your time, we're going to go ahead and put you right back, bud.
Thank God. I love that. And reading this, it kind of reminded me, I don't know if you remember, a while ago, Alex and I think it was CC Unit, they did a catch where they went onto an Indian reservation.
Oh, yes.
And basically the reservations have their whole own everything. So they have their own police, they have their own everything. So this story, it was on the same type of grounds. And instead of the Indian reservation taking it into their own hands and determining what they're going to do, because they're very protective, they handed it over to the federal protection, which is incredible. And it's rare, honestly. It's really rare.
And that has to do with the Adam Walsh Act, is that they actually have, you know, the oversees it is the Department of Justice and the Attorney General. So it's super interesting. Shout out to John Walsh also for getting that in play. I wish to see more states, you know, going after that kind of act. It said only 17. It could be older reports, but still.
That's why we're going to keep reporting it and spreading awareness so more and more people know. And hopefully over 10 years, we will get there.
Yeah, I like the civil commitment thing. It's interesting.
I love it because so many times you see these predators just get like a slap on the wrist. And instead of them saying, okay, you were caught, you learned your lesson, they're saying, okay, you have done this to 5 children minimum. And we're going to determine that you're probably going to go right back out and do this exact same thing. So we're going to stop it before you do that. I love it.
The next thing we got here is coming from France, and this is a report on church sex abuse of children. And I just wanted to read this to you because it's kind of alarming. But it says that France's first major study of sexual abuse of children in the Catholic Church revealed shockingly large estimates of victims and adds to the global understanding of the depth of the problem. And so it goes on to say that based on the projections, the independent study estimates some 330,000 children overall were victims of sexual abuse linked to the church from 1950 to 2020. Of those, it estimates that some 216,000 were abused by priests and the rest by other church figures such as scout leaders or camp counselors. The study authors estimates 80% of abused children were boys. A broader study of sexual abuse of children in France found that 75% of the overall victims were girls. Reports estimate that about 2,900 to 3,200 male clergy members were behind the abuse of almost 115,000 members overall over the period, which is, if you break it down, that's 35 victims per person.
Right.
That's absolutely bonkers.
It's pretty much like every single priest was offending children.
Exactly. Yeah, and they said that during the 1950s and 60s was like the worst time for it. But they are trying to get some measures in place for the victims, and the Catholic Church and France government are have been given recommendations, including they should compensate the victims, especially for those who maybe the case was too old.
I love that.
Yeah, they're also using strict measures to vet clergy and people who work in the church with children, clear ways for victims to safely and immediately report abuse, and a sweeping review of church teachings, notably in treatment of sexual abuse and
It's better late
sexual
than
violence.
never.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think every victim should be compensated for the time that they had to go to, court to stand up against their abuser or whatever, the time that they have to take out of work for depression. I think every victim should be reimbursed.
The next thing in the news is this guy right here. Police are looking for him in Indianapolis, and I thought it'd be interesting if PCI or PCM could maybe find this guy.
Could you imagine?
He's up to no good. Yeah, can you? It says that the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department are searching for a man wanted for child molestation. Frank Emery, 45, currently has 3 Marion County warrants out for his arrest. He's described as a white male who's 5'10", and weighs 285 pounds. If you know any information, call the Crime Stoppers line that's posted on the picture there.
Yeah. So catchers, definitely keep your eye out, because this guy is definitely a reoffender, so he'll probably be back up in the chats.
Exactly. The next thing we got here is Visalia man gets massive sentence in child molestation case involving multiple people. Yes, massive. It says that Armando Casas, 64, received 960 years to life. 960 years to life.
I'm sorry, that's the most I've ever heard.
And it just goes to show you that, like, even though these are, people aren't dying, this is a serious thing.
It is, and it's going to be handled seriously, and you're going to pay the time eventually.
Yeah, he has been convicted by a jury for 64 felony counts of lewd acts upon children under the age of 14. So good riddance to that guy.
900 years. We really want to have a lawyer come on, because I really want them to explain how someone gets 10 years or another person gets 900 years.
Right, yeah. Super interesting. And then the last story we have here is another teacher. So let's go ahead and play this.
Yana, we have Miss Lopez for the stay away order that you requested.
Okay, thank you.
Good morning, Judge. Jeff Chakuma on behalf of
hi, Ms. Lopez. You were arrested. You have 2 separate cases, and I understand you posted a bond. I brought you here to read the stay away order.
Judge, I would like to address one more thing.
Yes.
Okay, so the defendant was charged in F21-17299 under the statute, which encompasses somebody who's has a custodial status over the victim. It should be a PBL, but it was booked as an F1.
She already posted a bond. Your officers should have addressed this before they filed the arrest.
Judge ain't having it.
Yeah, so that I know that ladies sound like me trying to read.
Shut up.
No, I just wanted to play a little bit from the bond court hearing, because I personally love the bond court hearings.
Yes.
I watch this judge quite often. She's actually pretty funny. And there's actually a viral video you might have seen where this judge was reading off the cases and was talking to a defendant, and she actually recognized them from high school.
No.
Yeah, and it was super sad and
oh, that would be so hard, because how do you not be unbiased?
Right,
exactly. But I mean, you got to.
So this teacher, though, she's a Hialeah Middle drama teacher. She's been arrested after police said that she had sex with a 14-year-old former student in her car multiple times over the past 2 months. Brittany Lopez Murray, 31, was booked into Miami-Dade on Monday with multiple felonies. And I've seen this before. We've all seen it before. She'll either get one of two things. Maybe a couple years with registry, or I've seen it also where it's like 20 years.
Well, we're hoping for 20.
Yeah, I'm going more so with the 20.
And
We'll
she'll
see.
never be a teacher again.
And that about wraps it up for the news with us today. But we did have a special guest on the phone, and that's kind of the title of our episode today.
Yeah, we really wanted to do this because with this catching community, it's 50% what you guys see, the catching part of it, but the other 50% is really the decoy and the amount of work. I almost want to say it's like 70-30 because the amount of work decoys have to do is so much. And I've been seeing in more and more streams, people are like, can I decoy? I want to decoy. What can I do? And they think it's just as easy as downloading Face app and then getting on these apps.
Right.
So we wanted to bring someone on who is known in our community and is really, really good at what she does.
And that would be Steph.
Miss Steph.
Hey,
H.
guys.
What's going on, Steph?
I'm doing pretty good. You guys are off the show tonight.
Oh,
Definitely.
thank you so much. So
First off, thank you so much for coming on. You're
Yes.
so busy, so we really appreciate you coming on.
100%.
No, anytime. I've told you guys this anytime. It's all for a great cause. That's for sure.
So we wanted to kind of start by kind of asking what like made you get into decoying?
Well, so for most people that know me and those who don't know me know that I am a victim of sexual assault from the age of 6 to 11. So I have a very long history of that. So for me, it's all about standing up and taking charge for what I went through and for the struggles that I go for. That to me, it stands for helping somebody so they're not in the position of what I had to go through.
So true.
Yeah, I'm sorry you had to go through that.
So you started decoying, like you just made your channel, but you've been in the game for a really, really long time. And I know we've kind of talked about it, but you started decoying what year?
I started decoying in 2018,
Wow.
quite a long time ago. And I've been with numerous of teams, and I just usually stayed behind the scenes. There are a few out there that knew me then, like in the chat, the Arizona Pred Hunters, Sabrina.
Yes.
She's awesome, and she's been with me the whole time, and fully support her channel and what she does. But there's just so many out there, and a lot of us choose to stay behind the scenes because there's so much drama
Right.
to come out. But since I joined up with Tommy, it kind of gave me the wake up to allow people to know who I am and my story, and to stand up for the hidden decoys.
That's amazing.
Well, in decoying, especially being, a survivor and a victim of that, it's so hard. Like for me personally, it's really hard for me to talk to the Preds, but you do such a great job. And like, I'm just literally always wowed by your channel, the content that you're doing, how many catchers that you work with.
Yeah, I really like, it took me a while to create my own channel. I've always been on with Tommy and CPP, but I am opening up to working with other people and other catchers, and it just puts it all in one location. Most of my stuff will still always be with Tommy because that's he's my number one that I go to, but definitely opening up to help other people.
Right. Well, and the good news is like you come across so many different Preds. Like I don't think that you're ever just talking to one Pred. Like I've been on phone calls where you'll do like 3 or 4 back-to-back calls.
Yeah.
And you're having to basically have like full on, fake relationships. And I know you do have people that, you work with and everything. But it's mind blowing how you do it.
I mean, as of right now, between PvP Ho and I, we have probably 10 active cats going right now. One is the pilot, which is our next catch would be this weekend. Tommy is
so ready
flying
for that.
out. Just a little behind the scenes footage. I did call him out on what he had sent me during Tommy's live.
Oh.
I did call him out on that, and he told me to take a hike. But just as of 30 minutes ago, he is now begging for a phone call. So
that's how it goes.
Oh my God.
So I have pulled up on the screen 15 apps that parents should know about. And I know there's a lot of different apps that the decoys use to like find these guys. what are the worst ones you think for parents to know about?
I think the worst ones are basically the ones that you least expect it. So just to throw out there, Roblox. Roblox is the #1 app that these kids today are using. Your 5-year-olds are on Roblox. Your even 17, 18-year-olds are on Roblox.
Wow.
And that, people don't realize the dangers of any of these apps. It's not just the ones that you have pulled up.
Right.
There's so many out there. For instance, I use Facebook. A lot of people I hear all the time constantly saying, how is this on Facebook? There's teen groups, and I should have supplied you with one of them ahead of time. There are teen groups out there that are literally made for kids. And the horrible part about it is these groups are ran by adults. They are they're pedophiles themselves, if you ask me. There should be no reason for anyone to be in that group unless they're a child. And these adults are allowing these people in. You actually have to say your age. You have to state where you're from. And I ran one of those groups. And one of those groups, they don't say that they're 18. They say they're 35. They say they're 53. There's no shame.
Right,
and
there's
that's
no
the sad
shame.
part is it's right out in the open. Yes, there are the apps like Snapchat, or as I just learned, Facebook now has a hidden feature, which is just like Snapchat. I learned by mistake today that now the hidden chat in Facebook actually does notify with your screenshot, and it does notify if you even screen record it.
What?
So, and that is now in Facebook. So it's not just Snapchat.
And that makes it so hard because since you're decoying, you have to take screenshots, you have to send all this evidence. So they automatically are like, and you're uploading all these chat logs every single day, pretty much every new chat that comes into like a database where you can keep it all in case their profile gets blocked or whatever. So
exactly,
that's
just like for
alarming.
instance, Tori, the catch that Tommy's just worked, I think he's still in process. I'm not sure if that's done yet. That catch, that was done off of Snapchat. And, to do that, I've talked to Tori about this before. The reasons why I don't use Snapchat is I don't have the patience for it. You have to literally use a whole separate device to get around that. And it's just horrible. So I know I don't. So shouts out to her for dealing with the stresses of Snapchat.
That kind of brings
but
it.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say it brings up a whole new discussion of like, why are these apps creating like all of this hidden and like, invisible kind of chats that delete and destruct. And it's like, what's the point of that? Like they're kind of promoting this like sneakiness and it's being exploited.
And there's also, not only is there the groups that people know, but inside the groups, there's also other groups. And those are things that's how the guy that Alex just caught, the one that PvP Ho and I were talking about up in Susquehanna, that guy was part of an under group. So that was in a pedophile group, same group that Elma was in, that we kind of got thrown into this, as we call it, the sex ring. We got thrown in there. So we have more coming from the same group. But inside that group, there's messenger groups.
Ooh. So
you have, and for those, they require you to show that you're a kid. You have to actually show them, you can bypass it. And, we do it all the time nowadays with all the special apps out there. We can get into any of those. It's not an issue.
No, you guys are so smart with it.
They really want you to confirm that you are an actual child before you can even join these groups.
That's so sickening. And yeah, I was actually on Instagram this morning and I was just scrolling through, and somehow I came across a 9-year-old's Instagram page. And it's like, you're honestly the one that kind of woke me up to these catchers or these preds aren't just on Grindr and Tinder. Like these sickest ones are on Facebook and Instagram. And they're literally in these chats, like you've said, that are in like 11 to 16-year-old dating apps. And it's like, why does Facebook even allow that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's so alarming.
Well, it goes against there's a whole different world of the rights and the laws that for them to state that they allow 13 or even 6-year-olds, it's a whole different privacy setting. So the apps are modified and corrected with the actual data. That's why they ask you to be 18. But then there's people out there that lie. Hell, we're doing it. People literally, there are kids out there. There really are. I mean, while in these groups, I see the real kids posting, and those they infuriate me to a point to where's the parents? There have been times that I've broke protocol. I have said to this child, "Hey, this is who I am. This is what I do. Please let me talk to your parents." And I've reached out, and I have done that numerous of times because I see these kids, these real kids, screaming for attention, for wanting relationships and wanting the love, and just to be brought into these worlds, and it's mortifying to see the amount of children that are screaming for that attention. And it's just a floodgate for the chomos in there because they bring up the whole grooming. I mean, the guy that we're working on now, a pilot, he's one of the worst of groomers that I've ever had to deal with. I mean, he mentally makes my head crazy.
Right. I know. I worry about all the decoys' mental health, like
that's big.
Exactly. Because I totally think about that. And like, real quick, I know that you have a child. What do you do, because you see the sickest of the sickest? What do you do to make sure that like your child doesn't fall into anything like this?
My son, I'll just simply say, and I'm sure if he was in the room right now, he would say the same thing, is he's pretty much screwed. And that is because I see what happens. He will never have a Facebook. Right. He will never have anything. And I will be, one of the other issues that I see Sabrina talking about it in the chat, is parents are too afraid to check their devices.
Oh, thank you, Steph.
My son knows. I don't believe in hiding that to him. I think that you need to open a dialogue with your child. I don't care how old they are. Start it young. I was raped at age 6. It happens.
Wow.
And I think that you need to let them know, hey, I am checking your device.
Right.
I am doing this, and I'm doing it because of this.
Exactly.
This is what I'm doing. I get that some of our channels are not, definitely not mine, Shonda's, or TCOY's, where we do the live calls. They're not suitable for kids, and I would never allow a child to consently listen to that. But talk to them about what you're hearing. Talk to them about our channels. Talk to them about that there's people out there that are in these groups. Even when they think they're protected, their information is out there.
Right.
Yeah. Especially in today's day and age, you can find pretty much anyone's address or phone number.
Exactly. And then there's even, the kids are so smart. My son's 9. He is autistic, but he is one of the smartest kids I've ever met. And if anybody wants to get around a system, my 9-year-old is going to walk you through how to do it.
So,
and that's just the way the world, the technology is. So for my son, on his PlayStation, he has he's spoiled with PS5. One of the pros about the PS5, I will, let me, shout them out real quick.
No, do
it. Is that there's an app where the PS4 had an app, yes, but the PS5 actually goes through my phone before he even sees it.
Wow.
So anything he does, I can actually join right now.
And you can see what he's doing.
Be a dick mom. Not only can I see what he's doing, I can listen in on his voice chat in his room.
Wow.
Okay, so that's really good, because I have heard of predators coming via PlayStation or Minecraft or all of these games. I mean, they're literally everywhere.
That's crazy.
And that's true. It's where you least expect it. A groomer is a groomer, and when they want your child, think about, listen to the calls with the pilot, for instance. Imagine if that was a child. That child would have been scarred for life.
Oh my God, they would have been
scarred. Let alone,
scarred.
I mean, with the mind washing that it does to me as an adult, it takes a team of people. Like I said, I have my group. I will give them a little shout out. Robbie, and PvP Ho, and Technical, and Ray Z. They know. Every night they sit with me after these calls and we talk about it, because I have to.
You have to unload.
Process it myself. It takes so much to do. And there's a lot of times where it triggers, sometimes, Elmo, for instance, triggered my natural instinct of what happened to me as a child. And it happens, but you have to fight through it. It's not going to define me.
Right.
I am who I am, and that's fine. I accept it.
Well,
but
sorry, go ahead. Yeah, no, it's really hard. And I think that that's something a lot of people don't understand. Like I said, I see a lot of people coming into comments and saying, where can I sign up? I want to help. And they do it out of the pureness of their heart, but I don't think they fully sometimes realize how mind fucking it is. Sorry for the F word.
It really is.
So
yeah.
what advice do you have for people that are like, no, I want to get in the game, I want to decoy? Like, what precautions or what warning would you put out there for people?
I definitely would ask people to really ask a decoy, me or TCOY or any of the other amazing decoys out there, to see their chats, to see
right.
what to see what really goes on behind the scenes, because what you see when Tommy or Alex or any of the other teams confront, that's not the same feeling. Yes,
Right.
you feel angry. Yes, you feel horrible, but you are that child. You are the one going to experience this 100%. Nobody can understand that until you are in that position. So some of these chats, like that, they trigger me. There's nights that I go to sleep crying or upset, and there's nights that I down a bottle of wine.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it's having them exposed
Right.
that makes it so worth it.
Your calls where you expose them, or Tommy lets you get on the phone once they've been exposed, I can feel the emotion in how you speak to them, and finally for the first time you kind of get control of the reins.
Yes.
And you get to put them in their place, and it always makes me super emotional, and I know that those moments right there are the reason why you do this.
Exactly. It really is. And I know that people are saying in the chat that it's entrapment. First of all, it's not entrapment. There is zero laws that a non-official person can even do entrapment.
Right.
There's no way. I didn't lure him. I didn't, what a true decoy will do is they will make a post in a group and let them message them. We do not ever send the request first, and we do not ever message them first. They message in all aspects. They message the cell phone number. They message the text now number. They message always first.
Yeah.
It's just like Sabrina just said, people, if you can't do a live exposure, video exposure is the same. It's all about getting them out there, getting people to see what's going on.
So,
and that's the only way we're ever going to make a dent in this.
Yeah. So for all the catchers out there that may be decoy for themselves, like, what's one thing that, like, they shouldn't be doing that you've seen?
Well, those who know me know that I'm fully against sending nudes. I know I'm not going to go into which teams do that, just because that's them, and that's not a drama that I will carry. So don't ask me after for the list of those teams. I'm not going to do it. You have to realize that the person receiving this picture thinks you're a child.
Right.
With my conversations with ICAC, I've been told that you have to understand that it doesn't matter that you aren't a child. What matters is that person you are talking to thinks you are a child. So when you send a nude, that person believes that picture is a child.
Right. Yeah.
So it's pretty much like
CP.
sending child porn at that point, because they think that you're an underage person.
Right.
So that's pretty much like soliciting child porn at a certain point.
Exactly. And then you also got to realize that we have face apped it to look like a child.
Exactly. Yeah, it can get a little tricky.
It's such a thin line that people there's so many teams out there that cross that line. And the truth, Dickles, that we don't want to create, a pedophile. We don't want to, the guys that I go after, the reasons why they're so sick is because they want a relationship. They want something more than just like Grindr, where you just hook up and it's just a quick thing. These guys want kids. These guys want a family with you. It's a lot deeper than just somebody meeting up for a quickie.
Right. Yeah, I found online there's Norton parental controls, and it basically like allows you to, it does a lot for parents that are trying to keep tabs on what their kids are doing. And I don't know exactly how it works. I don't have the app, but
we'll link it below.
Yeah, it looks like if you do want to keep track and tabs on what's being downloaded and what's going on, I would definitely take a look at this app.
Well, one that I like personally is called Life 360.
Okay.
And that one will tell you who they're texting, what they're doing online. It also has a family locator. It has, it circles of friends that they're allowed to have. And it just really gives them the real-time location sharing for whatever they're doing, wherever they're at.
Nice.
And don't just say that, oh, my kid wouldn't do this.
Right.
These guys will get through. The
They're
harder
clever.
the child is, the more of a challenge it is.
Right. So
I mean, it's insane to know, but I know that you, Cup, and I talked about this earlier about opening up on Reddit, some
Yes.
discussions about the different apps, and
yeah. So what
we'll
we're
get that up for you.
we were saying is on the CPP Reddit that is set up over there, we're going to create its own flair for kind of resources for parents, because Steph has a lot of good resources and information that we want to get out to everybody. So what we'll do is we'll share it on Reddit, and then we can, share the links in our Discord and on Instagram and anywhere else that we're at.
Exactly.
So,
Yeah.
Steph, do you have anything coming up that you want to let the chat know about?
The only thing that's new is PvP Ho and I have decided that a lot of people want to see the chats as they go.
Mm-hmm.
So we've decided that we're going to do, I think we're going to do once a week, maybe even twice a week, where we give you the chat. We will do a live together.
That's awesome.
And give you guys the chats as they happen instead of after the fact. This way, not only do you get the calls with them, but you get to see their chat.
You get
as
to
well.
look in way deeper. So you may think some people may think it's entrapment. We'll see the text messages, and maybe it'll give a bigger picture of what you're actually dealing with.
I think it will also allow people to see when I reference things on the phone.
Exactly.
It gives them full, oh, well, she only said it because they talked about this.
Right.
I think it gives you that other open window of seeing what's going on. It allows you to hate them like we do.
Right.
That way, when Tommy goes up to a live and he's shaking, you know why he's shaking.
Right.
When Tommy gets his little Skittles in there, it's because he read these.
It's bad. It's bad. Exactly.
Yeah. So, I mean, I laugh every time I see him shaking because I know it's because he's so emotionally drained with it.
Right.
But yeah, it's definitely, we need more decoys. So if you guys are interested, if anyone wants to learn to decoy, I'm always open. My Discord is I'm always on there.
We'll link it below. We'll link all your information below, because I know so many people that ask, and I always direct them to you because, you're awesome. So we'll definitely link all your information.
I'm always up for helping.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. We could probably spend another hour just talking about everything that has to do with decoying, and we probably would like to have you on a different show so we can dive deeper. But we do appreciate you coming on to shed a little light for everybody.
Yes, thank you,
Awesome.
Steph.
Thank you, guys.
Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye. Well, I'm super appreciative of her coming on.
Yes, thank you.
She said shed so much light. I also have reached out to TCOY, so we're going to try to get her on at some point as well.
Yeah.
I would love to. I just love hearing all of the decoys' point of views on how they do it. But I think it was super important that we at least open that door. So again, Steph, if you're listening, thank you so, so much. Also, we are running a little bit over right now. We are going to finish out the episode in our normal speed. But I did want to let you guys know, Scamula does have a premiere coming up.
At
so
7:15.
At 7:15. So if you guys need to jump out of here again, this will always stay up. So feel free to do that. But we're going to go at our normal pace and end this out.
Yes. So thank you, Steph. And that pretty much does it. We're going to move into the videos that dropped.
Yes, we are.
The first thing I wanted to touch on was Alex had he had a couple lives over the last couple days. I'm sure you guys have seen them, but he does have 2 new videos dropping tomorrow on members only on JDQ's page. It's one guy who comes out with a gun, and then the other one is catching bowling alley pred again, as well as 5 new catches that I think were from the last couple days uploading tomorrow as well.
And they were crazy
They were
catches.
some good catches. So if you guys are a member, look forward to those. If not, go join.
A member.
The next thing we got are the decoy calls. We got Steph here. First of all, she was on. She had a live call with the pilot Pred the other day, and that's going to be commencing, I think, this next weekend possibly.
Yeah, it's going to be coming up soon, so definitely follow us on Discord and, the CPP family to get your updates, but we are so looking forward to that. This guy is so sketched, and I don't think he knows that we're coming.
Yeah, no, he has no idea.
He's going to be blindsided.
The next couple that we got are coming from TCOY. We got, I think they're both for PP Toronto. Yeah, they got the...
Oh, I'm so excited for these. These are, well, at least one is happening this weekend.
And I know she mentioned that these could possibly be member-only catches. So I'm not entirely sure. Maybe if she's in the chat right now, she can confirm that. But these are for PP Toronto, both of them from TCOY. So go take a listen to those. She's always great on the phone.
Yes, I'm a member, so I'll be looking forward to those.
And I get to listen too, I guess. Right? The next one we got here is coming from CC Unit. This is church staff wants to play Truth or Dare. Yikes.
Yikes.
Let's listen to this.
Mine. Okay, so the way that the conversations, here's fine. The
Okay,
way
right
that
here?
the conversations were going, like the way that everything was going, like it made me really like suspect because of the way that the questions were being asked. Like, do you want me to wear makeup and stuff like that? And it's like it's weird. Like people don't normally ask it, so I figured it was kind of a setup. But here's the thing: the only
So wait, he was sketched out the entire time talking to the decoy. He was super sketched out. He thought it was a setup, but yet here he is meeting them.
Right.
Like, how does that work out?
This guy, yeah.
You guys have to go watch the full video. It's crazy.
Yeah, I never get that excuse. That's like the worst excuse you could come up with.
It makes you look so dumb to say, I knew this was a setup.
Those
and then
questions
it's like,
were weird.
Well, then why are you 12 inches in front of me if you knew this was a setup?
Right. Yeah, so shout out to CC Unit. And I guess I was reading the chat. I guess he got into a fight maybe, or they were about to fight on this last catch 226. So I don't know how long that's going to be up. Maybe we can catch it and rewind.
I really hope so.
Yeah, if someone could fill us in on Discord, that'd be awesome. The next one we got here is coming from, this is a re-upload from Gordon Flowers, or it's an older catch, I think, but it caught Punk's Creek.
Random case that maybe I might happen to actually make a new friend. I don't know.
How old are you?
40.
And you think an 8-year-old's going to be your friend?
I don't have any friends, so
well,
because of my ex-wife. So,
I mean,
I like I was telling them, I don't like I run through friends like Tic Tacs. So,
but an 8-year-old girl that you thought you was coming to meet.
Well, it was just going to be a friend. I had no intentions.
So he discussed kissing with her, sure, and he admitted on camera that he knew she was 8 years old.
Did you?
That I was under the impression anyway.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, I could say so much about this. First off, I love the way Alex is looking at the cop. Like he is just eating it up so much. Like, yes, go, go, go. So I love that aspect of it. And then also, I love that the cop is letting Alex and his crew be there. The
right
cop
next
is
to him.
not acting like a normal cop where he's like, okay, stand back. He's being nice. He's like literally doing exactly what our catchers do.
Right. He almost seems like he's part of Alex's crew.
Right. Squad up.
Yeah, shout out to this cop. I think it's in Virginia. Yeah, so shout out to the Virginia police out there.
It was
they don't
definitely
play.
cool.
He's ready to beat the brakes off of this guy.
Yeah, definitely great.
Go check that one out. The next one we got here is coming from CP Catcher. Everyone knows Jason.
Oh, Jason.
Crazy Jason. I think he was caught like 4 times.
He was caught
like,
multiple times.
This guy's crazy. So he dropped this chat log of the part 4 of the chat log. And yeah, like we said earlier, he's still recovering. So go show him some love. Tell him PNN sent you and that we hope you get well soon.
And if you guys don't know the whole Jason saga, like go watch.
Go binge
It's
those.
a good
This
a
guy,
good little series.
Crazy. So shout out to CP Catcher, Sam over there doing his thing. The next one we got here is coming from CPP. We watched this one. This one was pretty good. This one ended in an arrest too. Get over here, pedo. SMH tried to dash off on his bike before jail. Yeah, he tried to dip.
Yeah,
and
but
Tommy
he
was
didn't
like,
make it far.
Nope, not having it.
Oh yeah, Tommy said he was like, I'm gonna have to do my first citizen's arrest right now. Like he's like, I will citizen's arrest your ass if you try to go.
Serves him right. Yeah, let's listen.
Not the original room, no.
Denver Fun Teen Zone.
But there was a couple of different ones.
But why would you be in Denver Fun Teen Zone? Why would you be in that site?
Well, because
you're looking for teens, right?
You know, not all the teens are underage.
I mean,
Yeah, I got it. You're coming in, so.
Okay.
But see, I don't get it because I can show you this. Hold on.
This guy's full of shit.
And you know what? I just connected. This guy the entire time said that he couldn't call his wife or send a text message because he didn't have service, and his phone he didn't pay his bill or whatever. But I'm just now realizing that he's able to be on his dating app right now, looking through it. So and that was a big cap.
And yeah, and the guy actually said that him and his wife were like going through it. He's in the doghouse sleeping out back or something, and it's like, bro, this is what you're doing. Like, you're going after a little kid.
Yeah, now he's in the jailhouse.
Yeah, I'd like to get an update on this guy. So shout out to CPP on this for the arrest. Let's move on to the next one we got here. Is coming from Safe Child Coalition. This is a re-upload. Luke James, first time getting busted.
You're here to meet a 13-year-old girl. Buddy, I got you. I got the chat log.
His glasses, though.
Okay? You're a child predator. You're on Facebook Live. Everybody's watching you. You know your ex that you told me about when you were 23 and she was 14? I got chat logs all. Buddy. What? Oh, your Facebook?
Heard that one before.
Oh my God. They all say my phone was stolen or whatever. They all say that. It's so annoying, and we all see right through it.
We all see through it. So go check that one out to re-upload. The second one, though, is him getting caught again. And this is also a re-upload.
Man. You're here to meet a 13-year-old girl again, you.
His face.
It was me again, you dumb fuck.
He's like,
telling her how wet you can get her, how she'll beg for your D. Just so you know, you're under citizen's arrest.
Ooh.
Okay?
Ooh.
The police are on their way. If you do attempt to leave, we will use whatever means necessary to restrain you until they come.
Good
yeah,
job.
I wonder, that's interesting because he didn't actually restrain him, but he said that you're under citizen's arrest. So like, and he said if you leave, you know, that might be bad. So it's like, I wonder if catchers can do that as well here. I know this is in Canada, but.
I know we looked it up, and I know every state is a little different how you're able to go about that. But yeah, I mean, if it's free, if you say don't leave or else I'm in a citizen's arrest, you're pretty much making him stay right there, and if he tries to walk, then you can tackle him, do whatever you need to do. I don't know.
Don't quote us on that. Look up on your local laws because there's so many. But
definitely don't be citizen arresting everyone now.
Yeah. The next one we got here is from OB Nation. Rami, threesome creep gets physical with me. NYC cops called.
Cops! Right here. We got him.
We got it.
The flashlight.
Okay, we got him. Thank you.
Looks like a
Cops
security
are here.
guard.
Cops are here. Yeah, we got him. Right here. Okay. I'm on the phone with 911. This guy was trying to have with a 14-year-old right here, this guy.
And his drove off and almost hit us with his car.
Yeah, his tried to kill us with the car, with his car.
Tried to kill us. Yikes.
Man,
Go show him some love.
And
on
I
this
believe
one.
Rami has a live
Oh,
right
yes.
now, or I'm pretty sure it's happening either right now or soon after we end.
Well,
Don't leave us.
It started at 6:30, but you got like 3 hours.
Oh yeah, you definitely have until like 11:30 p.m. tonight until the catch happens. Don't worry.
We'll be in Discord for that one.
Oh yeah.
The next one we got here is a premiere coming up tomorrow. This is going to be 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's going to be a premiere from CPP. And this guy, when you see this, the cop's response is great. I don't want to give it away, but
great. And I also want to note that CPP's a big supporter, Cooley McCoulson, I think it is.
Yeah, Cooley McCoulson.
He did all the decoying for this, and he went on his first catch yesterday. And let me just tell you what, I won't ruin it, but it was a flawless catch.
Yeah.
Flawless. So go watch that tomorrow, 6 p.m.
And then our last thing here is from Scamula, which is going to start in about 4 minutes. So if you do want some lighthearted fun,
yes,
we all need is getting those other preds off.
We all need that lighthearted fun, including us.
And yeah, we have a couple things we need to look at. We need to go back and check CC unit, see if that's still alive.
Yeah, we're going to have a whole nother episode by like 12 p.m. tonight, just from everything that's going on right now. So for all the people that stayed in here, we love you so, so much. Like you guys are so supportive. We really, really appreciate it.
We got White Guy Wednesday also, which is, I think, right now as well, 7 o'clock. So that started just a little bit ago. So there's a couple things for you guys to watch right now. Until next time, we do appreciate you staying here with us and hanging out. Let's say who we got in the chat. Scamula, PvP Ho, Sunshine, Sunny Buns, Steph H, Prank Calls by Rev, Gobshite, Koopa, Twomper, Richmond Against Predators.
Guys.
Thank you so much.
And thank you again, Steph, for coming on.
Yes.
We will see you guys on Friday, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Until next time, bye.
Peace. Let's get some Purple Hearts if we can. Love you guys.